How do you comp a drum kit recording? When you record a drum, you will probably have different channels, one for the most important component of the drum. In this case, I have a kick microphone, a snare microphone, and two overheads. You cannot edit the track individually, because if you start moving, shifting around each individual track, you will have a massive problem of phase, because the drum kit is to be considered like a little orchestra. So all the microphones pick up some sounds from the other parts of the drum kit, so there is a overall bleeding across the microphones, and you cannot shift one part on a different timing than the other. So you need to group them. So you need to group all the tracks in a way that you can edit all together and mix them. So I select all the track by clicking the first one and shift click on the bottom one and press Command G, which creates a group. I call it drum, and make sure that the group that you create is a mix and edit group, and all the tracks are listed in this area here. The groups is activated because it's highlighted in blue. If I click there, I will deactivate it so that I can still move independently. But when instead is activated, look what it can do. The view, I don't want to see the main comping track, which is currently empty because you don't normally record in there. I select the waveform view, click the playlist view, and here you are. All the recordings that I've done are now showing, and you can see I have playlist 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are all basically the takes that the drummer did for this piece. So how do you proceed in editing? What you need to do is to basically start monitoring each single part for quality of performance overall. And the main thing that you need to have is to open track and create a click track, because you have to have a click track available, and it has to play at the right tempo that you recorded the song into. Once you have this, then you can isolate some areas. So let's see, I'm gonna start from take 1 here, and I'm gonna solo, and you can see that it's solo across all the tracks that I grouped because I have a group on. And if I press play, I can even lower the volume of the whole drum to prioritize the metronome and put it all on a level that is suitable for me to understand. So here I look at how it matches the beat, but you need to also consider if a drummer is doing something very musical and requires a little bit of changes of the time, you don't want to cut and edit that part if then the drummer goes back on time and very nice on tempo. So you need to use your judgment to make an editing that is correct, that is trying to see where the parts are the best conforming with the tempo, but also allowing for the musicality to come out and to be audible in the track. So once you select the portion that you like, you just click on this arrow and it will be promoted across all the tracks. That's what I mean by keeping things all tied together. And then you go on like that. If you prefer this part here, you just promote that part. Then maybe I go back to the first track here and I promote that one because I like it more. But for the remaining part, I like the track number 4. And so I go like that. Once you create your comp track and you're sure that even the beginning is clear and everything is correct, you cannot leave it like this in this area here, because there will be some editing point that you need to adjust. For example, be mindful of crashes or long cymbals, because they can go across the next part of the recording. So if you have a cymbal here and you edit it and then you attach another part that doesn't have the cymbal, you will have a cut cymbal, you know. Or the other way around, if you don't have a cymbal here but you have it the tail of a cymbal here, you will hear it here and it will look very odd. So that's why you go with this, with the trim tool, with all the tools selected. You go there and you shift the editing point exactly where you like it, and what you want to be sure is that this happen across all the tracks, because we are using the groups. That's why groups are very powerful. And once I'm satisfied of this editing point, for example, I go right there where there's a little bit of gap and silence, and I check across the drums if that's correct. Yes, correct. I obviously monitor it, maybe removing the click. So, and let's hear from there. Clean and nice. So once this is done across all the track and I'm happy, I select all my comp track, my favorite track, and I press the letter F. This has created some fades automatically according to certain settings that you can see by doing Command F, and you can see that I have for a fade of this size, of this shape, and this duration. I will say stick with the standard, but you can also change that. If you go very deeply in there, you see that has been created exactly in the point, and this will mean that you will not hear any digital offset and no clicks ever in your track. At the beginning of the track as well, wherever the cut points are, there's been a fade, so automatically creates a fade in, a fade out when needed, or a crossfade, and that's super powerful. Then the last bit that you need to do once you're done and you've chosen everything, selecting all the track again with the fades, you have to go under Edit and Consolidate Clip, which is also Option Shift 3. And once you do that, you have a full track that you can then move on and use it in the continuation of your mix.